Hello, and welcome to Smiling in the Dark, with a podcast where we, your resident smilers, stay up late, unlock the front door, turn off the lights, and smile our way through the horrors. One theme, one subgenre, and one sleepless night at a time. I'm Adam.
I'm Ross.
We've just completed our mini break on Widow's Bay Island, and we're now focusing our journey on the work of highly acclaimed horror writer and director Mike Flanagan. So sit back and join us as we enter the Flanaverse.
It's a bit procedural.
It did.
For poor Mike.
Yeah, my bad. So, how are you doing, Ross?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah,
how are you?
Good. Yeah, okay, thank you. Yep. So, Mike Flanagan. I think when we talked about this, I had seen a few bits and pieces. I know you had seen a few, but certainly some of the earlier films that we're going to be covering were going to be completely new to me, and I think you as well. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first film on our list, the one we're going to be talking about today, is Absentia, which I had never even heard a single thing about until before watching this. What about you?
I'd heard things like it was like a hidden gem type thing, one of those to consider watching. But do you know what? Every time I'd looked it up or even Googled it or whatever, it's got the most horrendous cover that looks like the most generic shit at the bottom of a Blockbuster video pile that you've ever seen. It immediately puts you off.
It's amazing how you can either be drawn in by a cover or totally put off by watching it. It wasn't one I'd really heard of. And as we get through talking about it, I think, this was an experience, this film.
Definitely. I didn't appreciate at all that this was so sort of DIY film, almost like student filming or something like that. So I didn't appreciate it at all. I thought it was maybe like he'd landed at a studio after doing, writing a bunch of things and got the green light to have his debut film. I think I appreciate all the more for it being what it is. We spoke about this in season 1. What's the Bruce Campbell film?
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. We spoke about that, and I think it. But although it wasn't massively my cup of tea, the fact when we started speaking through all the things that they'd done to get to a point of being able to even film the thing, it makes the film all the more for you, I think. So
yeah. This is very low budget, and it's instantly very low budget, but it's. We'll cover some of the aspects. Obviously, one of the lead actors being Mike Flanagan's then partner, who I think is legitimately pregnant with their child, which is a bit wild when you go through what actually happens through the course of this film.
100%, yep, absolutely.
So, Absentia 2011. Written and directed by Mike Flanagan, and his first feature film that he had made. I'll talk through the brief synopsis, which just really scratches the surface of what's going on here. A woman and her sister begin to link a mysterious tunnel to a series of disappearances, including that of her own husband. So, pretty generic, and doesn't really give us any indication of what we're about to watch.
No, like you take that cover, which has absolutely nothing to do with the film, and take that generic synopsis there, and you just throw that to the side and say no thanks, wouldn't you? It's such a shame, actually.
It in no way prepares you for what you're about to go through. So right from the off, I'm saying it looks low budget. It does look low budget. I think that doesn't... Once you're into the film, I don't think that negatively really affects what's going on here and what you're seeing. I think, if anything, it kind of plays into it quite nicely because particularly some of the scenes when we're going to get to the tunnel. I don't think I'd want that looking all polished and yeah.
The only thing I would say negative about it, and maybe this is unfair, but it's the bald detective, and it's a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit like you and I have got an iPhone in the back garden sort of thing.
Yeah.
But maybe that's unfair. But that is literally the only thing. I totally agree with what you said there, that it just goes away. It just disappears, that low budget aspect.
Yeah. So we kick things off. We are going to see a woman outside a house, another woman walking through a tunnel. They are going to meet at one of the women's houses. We quickly learn this is a sisters situation, and we have one sister who is Callie, who is a bit troubled. She has been in rehab, we learn, and she is visiting her pregnant sister. So as we get to know these two characters, the sort of dynamic they have quite quickly starts to play out, where I think the pregnant one, who I assume is the older one here, is, concerned for her younger sister and some of the pitfalls she's experienced through time. She is going to be, the younger sister, Callie, is going to be moving in with the older sister and helping her out. I think it comes out pretty quickly that Trisha, who is the pregnant sister, her husband went missing. So we learn to hear this just kind of seemed to have come out of absolutely nowhere. They're just living their lives, and then one day he's gone. And obviously, I'm thinking, I wonder what the timeline is here, because she's clearly pregnant. And I'm thinking, did this guy only just disappear a few months ago, or has she moved on? We'll get to that once it comes. But Callie is going to be visiting, try and help out with everything. But kind of the sort of psychological state of Trisha, having absolutely no idea what's happened to her husband. They talk about the possibility of kidnapping, the possibility of amnesia. I think that even aliens is mentioned at a point where they're like, we just have no idea what's happened to this guy.
And when they're, I don't know about you, but they do, there's a sort of filmmaking aspect to that where is it Trisha? You said?
Trisha, yeah.
Yeah, she's talking about the different examples or different scenarios that could have happened. And she even comes up with a scenario where he was like a special agent or something like that, and he had to just leave. But they show the different scenarios.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Yeah.
That's really different. And they do it later on as well, when there's a bit more harrowing things happening, and when people are speculating things that happen. That's something you don't see a lot in films, and I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, because it can set you off in all the various different directions. You feel like you're actually following the character into these scenarios and then thinking, wonder which one of these is going to be the one that plays out, if any of them.
Exactly, yeah. What's the plausibility? And it's a good way of making you think about these different types of scenarios. Like you're saying, it could potentially be one of these, could potentially be none of them.
Yeah. We learn that Callie has turned to religion. I made an assumption here as part of her recovery from her substance issues. She's got a cross she puts up on the wall. There's praying. And we then go to Trisha's room while she's trying to sleep. We see someone enter a room twice, or certainly open the door to go into the room twice. At this point, I don't think we get any sort of firm sighting of who or what this is that's opening the door. But we'll get to that with some further visits we're going to experience.
I like that. Obviously, a bit of a cliche, seeing people walking about a quiet, dark room, but we don't see much at all. We see that could be the sister checking on her sister.
Absolutely.
But it's just left to hang a little bit, and it just gives you a little bit of the creeps. I like it a lot.
Trisha's going to go downstairs. and she says the name Danny, which was the husband, but she is seeming to be just having some sort of creepy nightmare as that's going on in that moment. But we get our first sighting of Danny, the missing husband.
Can I make the noise, or should I not make the noise? It made you uncomfortable before we started.
The noise just before. I mean, if you can recreate it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You've been working on that.
That's true. Never mind.
So we're going to follow the next morning. Callie is a bit of a runner. She seems to go for absolutely miles. And as part of her run, she goes into this tunnel that is near Trisha's house. Nothing too ominous or sinister at this point in time, but they do seem to be making a big deal out of making sure you're aware this tunnel is here. We get... Who is this? What does this note mean? Oh, it's because of autocorrect. It changes everything. I've got, there is some rackhead sleeping in the tunnel. Nah, that's crackhead, I think I'm meaning to have here. And then I'm thinking, maybe it's not a crackhead.
Or a rackhead.
Yeah. Seems a bit confused that Callie can actually see him.
Yes.
And then Walter, I think his name is, he's begging for help. He's saying, my son, my boy, Jamie, can you tell them? I'm like, what's going on here?
Do you know, it just seems so like sort of, again, like a little bit cliche, like the sort of, like you say, like the drug-addled guy in the tunnel, but when it comes all back around, it all fits into place. That's Doug Jones, who plays the not the monster, like in The Shape of Water, the amphibian creature. That's who that is.
Oh, okay. We are back at the house, and there is a policeman, and he's clearly had involvement in the missing husband's case, but I think it's also pretty clear that there's something going on with him and with Trisha.
I thought you were going to say he's clearly had involvement with the pregnancy. Because of his shades.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. He's taken more than a statement, has this cop. So, Callie, what is that? Yeah,
I didn't like this interaction at all.
Her interaction with the cop wasn't great. And then she says she needs to shower because she smells like an armpit's asshole. Which
nice.
It's not a phrase I've heard before.
No, I like it though. And then after she says that and goes away, does Trisha say to him, or does he say, "Yeah, see what you mean now," or something like that?
Yeah,
that's horrible. Horrible thing. What is it? Did he mean? Yeah, see what you mean about your sister being incredibly attractive compared to you.
It'd be an odd. I mean, I think the majority of people are going to admit that's true. But yeah, it'd be an odd flex from him. So there's a bit of a creepy moment here at the door for Trisha, as there's just a voice and a figure is just saying, "I know what you did," and I'm like, okay,
that's right.
We're back with Callie going towards the tunnel. She is looking to take some food to the guy Walter that she had discovered previously, but she can't see him. So she goes to it's in Tupperware. She goes to leave it at the tunnel entrance, and Trisha's door opens again as she's sleeping that night. And this time we do see that it's the missing husband who seems to either reach into or punch into her stomach, again in a nightmare.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah, pretty harrowing moment here. I think the sort of story's all coming together for us now that we know that the husband's been gone longer. This isn't going to be his baby that's in her stomach, and we're pretty sure we know who it is. The magnificent acting, suave talking cop is
could we call him Baby Chickless?
Absolutely, yeah.
But then the child would be Baby Chickless Jr.
Baby Chickless Chick.
Nice, yeah.
We follow Trisha to speak to a therapist about her dreams. In the dreams, the husband's seeming really angry, and her thinking this is because he has been declared dead and she is pregnant. And I've just at this point written in my notes what the husband is called, because I've put, let's call the husband Daniel from here on in. We are running again with Callie, who encounters what I've just described as a really rather shifty individual who's encouraging her not to leave anything at the tunnel. More about him a bit later.
Indeed.
Trisha signs the paperwork for death in absentia for Daniel, but she is having visions. Even when not sleeping, she sees the figure of Daniel standing behind the solicitor's desk. That's okay. You just feel free to interject with that any moment. It's relevant.
He only does it once, but it was enough to be memorable. Clearly.
Callie...
Sorry, just going back to that scene, actually, I shouldn't interrupt you with nonsense noise, because that is a good scene, because normally in a horror film like that, things happen in the dark, but he's there in the light of day. Yep. I really like that as well.
Yeah. We have... Callie encounter... she's going to see some bugs and some creepy noises in the bathroom and a moving shower curtain and nothing's there. And I'm starting to wonder if our Callie is actually back on the straight and narrow after all. Suppose this could be a withdrawal situation, but yeah, it's she seems to be seeing and hearing things that aren't there. Trisha's trying to medicate herself, but ghostly Daniel is behind her and seems to be getting closer, then just appears everywhere around her and whispering at her.
Oh, the muttering. That's effective. I like that.
Yeah. Callie finds lots of... I haven't written what these items are, just lots of items in the bed.
Like trinkets, like copper trinket type things.
Yes. The police come, we hear there were lots of breaking and entering and a lot of items had been taken. Callie talks about the tunnel guy. Seems like the house in a bad neighbourhood. The cop, what did you call him? Chickless.
Baby Chickless.
Wants Trisha to move, even if it's in with him. He doesn't care anymore. Just wants her out of this area. It's a bad neighbourhood.
This is a thing that he was subtly raising to start off with, but as things progress, he's like, you need to get out of here, get out of this neighbourhood. And I think we also see subtly throughout the start of the film, we see missing posters, because it's a cowboy western, like a spaghetti western. We see like missing posters for animals, pets, cats and dogs and stuff as well. Yes,
yeah. We get our confirmation, although it was pretty obvious early on, that there's definitely a thing going on between Trisha and the cop, and that he is the father of the unborn child. We are going to follow Callie out on her run again. She's done more running in this film than I have done in my life, but that's probably a worse reflection on me, you know.
She's good to watch running.
She is packing up the house, so I think they've been listening to the talk about how it's better to get out of that neighbourhood. So Trisha's at work. It looks like Callie's just starting off on some packing. And we then get confirmation sight of Callie going back to dabbling in some substance problems again.
Yeah. She's been coveting some sort of special box that she brought with her under the bed. She phones Trish to see how long she's going to be before she gets home, and then she gets the green light. Decides
to go for it and indulge. Trisha has received the death certificate, and she's just pretty down about that, understandably. And I think that's her just getting home when Callie's still high as fuck. But that's fine, because she just goes to bed. But
it's good timing.
Yeah.
Well, there's some good timing and some bad timing aspects to what's about to happen, I suppose. But for Callie, great timing.
Yeah. Do we have anything through the night at that point, or is it just straight to the next day?
No, I think that something happens at night that night, because Trisha's like, I saw it in your eyes when I came in.
Yeah.
So something must have happened, but I can't remember. She's talking about... Is it... Sorry. I'm not 100% actually. Because I think something broke into the house.
Yeah.
The detective comes out.
I think I have that a little bit later.
Okay.
We are with Callie running again, and she spotted a new possible area for them to move to. They go out, they're visiting all these places, seem to be having quite a good time. They find one that they seem quite happy with. And Trisha calls to speak to the cop, and they're going to go out on a date. They're going to have a proper date, which is nice. And Callie obviously knows you have to be a bit stupid based on the interactions not to know that there was something going on there. Apparently, it's been 7 years since Daniel went missing. I think that's okay. I think it's okay.
But how unfortunate would you have to be missing your husband for 7 years, and the first time baby Chickless rifles you, you're going to end up with... You're going to end up with baby Chickless Jr. That's just some bad luck.
Yeah. Rifles you. Oh. So Trisha getting herself ready for her date, putting on some makeup. She can see the ghostly Daniel again. Baby Chickless is going to come to pick her up, and he's quite the charmer. He's got his sunglasses game working for him, and then at this point, once they're out of the house, I'm thinking, poor Trisha, she's being harassed by Ghost Daniel again while out on her date. But no, because the cop can see Ghost Daniel as well.
Yep.
And we quickly come to realise this isn't Ghost Daniel. This is Daniel.
He's been waiting. He's been waiting for this moment.
Right, for her to... And he's going to be yelling at her, only 7 years, that's all you waited. So yeah, I think what they did really well in the build to this, because she obviously sees him and assumes it's not real, because she's had so many of those moments beforehand. But I thought it was really just well done, nice and subtly done, the realisation he can see him as well. This is real.
Actually, there. That is really effective. You're
right. He looks a bit of a mess. He's not in a good way. He's not spoken. He's in the hospital. Trisha is on the phone to Daniel's mum, telling her what's going on. They're going to come and visit. He's gone through some shit, has Daniel here. And I really feel like this would have been an appropriate time for baby Chickless to have excused himself from this investigation, but nah, he's heavily involved, and he's a little bit aggressive for Daniel and the state he's in at that moment in time. But obviously he was hoping for something that night. It was baby Chickless, and
I think he's had enough.
got ruined.
I think the way that they have Daniel play this is almost like childlike, and he's looking at this really big man and saying, like, sort of, he's almost looking at him as if to say, like, what's going on and who am I and where am I? And like you say, he's quite aggressive towards him. But it's quite an interesting dynamic, actually.
Daniel's showing significant signs of physical abuse, but nobody knows what happens. He says he was underneath. Daniel's home. He needs sleep. His parents are going to be visiting tomorrow. Police arrive, want to talk to Daniel again in a place where he's more comfortable, but oh fuck, where's Daniel gone now, is what my notes say. He had animal bones in his stomach.
Yeah, they couldn't identify them from the x-ray.
Yeah, and he was wearing the same clothes as when he vanished. So Baby Chickless and partner, they want to know what's going on here. They're calling him a liar for saying he doesn't remember anything. The Chickless wants to talk to Trisha. He's just experiencing like the most bizarre cockblock situation that you can possibly imagine. We go to Callie and Daniel talking. And he says to her, "How did you get out?" I'm like, what's going on here?
Nice.
Trisha wants answers from Daniel. Daniel, I think it's fair. I think he wants to know about the baby. Trisha and Chickless are talking. The cop says the death certificate is accurate, even if Daniel's upstairs. I'm thinking, whoa, I don't know about that.
It's quite a statement. It's quite an ambiguous statement.
To me, he's basically saying, he was dead. He now seems to not be dead, but I can just make sure he's dead.
Let me take care of him.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of rifle left, is what you say.
What? Daniel, he's kind of creepy. In Callie's in Callie's room, talking about how she shouldn't have traded with it. And I'm thinking, what is going on in the hallway? We're hearing weird noises, stuff moving. Daniel says, no more, no more, no more. Callie goes to investigate. She's back in the bathroom where she heard the weird noises and movements previously. Everything goes black. We cut to Trisha speaking to the cop about she wants him to be involved in the child's life, but the cop doesn't want just to be involved with the child. Wants to be fully involved with Trisha. As Trisha gets back, she notices the house door is open. The cop goes to the door, but Callie runs out screaming, or runs up to them from elsewhere screaming, he's gone, he's gone. She's in a bit of a state. Callie gets asked what happened. We see her wake up or come to with a sore head in the bathroom, and she can see something dragging Daniel down the stairs. Kind of had a bit of a like tentacles or long fingers look as he's being pulled away.
Yep. Reminded me of the what is the film with Joaquin? It's M. Night Shyamalan. Joaquin Phoenix is in it. So who else isn't it? Mark Wahlberg in it? No. Signs.
Yeah, Signs.
You know, the fingers on the door sort of thing. It was the fingers were a bit like that. I love the tiny little. You only see the tiny little bit of it. Everything else is in your imagination. Love that.
Yeah. The house looks absolutely trashed. You can see something moving in the ceiling, and Daniel seems to be stuck on it. And the thing is dragging Daniel back to the tunnel. Callie runs after him a bit, but there's nothing she can do about this. Cop thinks Callie is either drunk or on something, and I think he's accusing. He's basically fobbing off her story, making an absolute nonsense of it.
I think he's got a partner, and at some point
Yes.
We seem to be getting an indication that the partner is like aware of behaviour, like drugged out behaviours, and he's definitely going down that avenue with her.
Yep. I think she confesses to having had some wine or something like that, but nobody's seeing stuff like that from some wine. Trisha,
what about Taco's 3 penis wine? About
that's pretty potent stuff. I understand.
So maybe she's had some of that.
Yeah, I've never dabbled myself, but yeah, I've completely forgot about that. After all this, Trisha's going to have to file a missing persons report.
That seems a bit backward, doesn't it?
Yeah. They've already got a death certificate. I mean, just roll with it. Trisha thinks Callie was high and hallucinating, and she is absolutely furious. It's suggested that Daniel saw Trisha and the cop kiss, came back and trashed the house. Trisha finds Callie's stash, which just reinforces her argument about what she thinks has gone on here. And they've basically now had enough of each other's shit. Trisha has to phone, what a call this must be, having to phone Daniel's mum and basically tell her they're on their way to visit. Don't think she can get through. I think she has to leave a voicemail. No, she doesn't. She just hangs up. Because they're on a plane, I believe, to come and see their previously missing son. We've got Callie doing some missing persons investigations, and she spots someone she recognises, which is the man that she saw in the tunnel, Walter, who had been listed as a missing person for many years. And that area, that neighbourhood, seems to have a hell of a lot of missing persons on the go. Even before the tunnel was built, the tunnel was under the city, basically, but there were mysterious goings on in that area prior to the tunnel. Callie cannot convince Trisha about any tunnel theories. She's just not really having it. And if it's somebody that has been dabbling in substances, I can see this from Trisha's point of view.
She feels like she's let her down, and that's probably clouding a lot of what she's saying as well.
Yep. Daniel's parents arrive. That's tough timing. It's just not good. Police have found a body in the tunnel that needs to be identified. They wanted Callie, but Trisha went running. But it's not Daniel. It's Walter. It's the missing guy that Callie saw. And she... where have I gone? How have I gone from there to here? Oh, yes, okay. No, I remember now. Why is there a dog in that bin bag? Yeah. So that is Walter's son, I believe. And he, it seems, wanted to try to trade a dog for his dad.
Yep. And we putting 2 and 2 together and hopefully getting 4. We are assuming that all these missing pets certainly recent missing pets has been his son trying to trade to get his dad back.
Yep. Trisha tries to show Callie how to meditate, and I've done a really bad joke. She's more into medicate than meditate.
Oh, classic.
Oh, I feel bad.
That's a good one.
Callie's saying that the church says people are destined for torment, that the devil can make them do what it wants.
That's not pretty. That is not helping with the meditating.
No, not at all. As the sisters go to walk upstairs, Callie stops in her tracks. We see a flash of something, a bit creepy, and all the cops, meanwhile, I think, are looking at missing people posters. Callie arrives at the police station and is shaking. It seems that something took Trisha. Callie is a mess. She's talking to the cops. She said she couldn't hold on to her sister. She lost her. So sort of painting the picture here that very similar to what just happened to Daniel that we saw some of, but I don't think we saw any of with Trisha.
No.
She's been taken under similar circumstances.
I never saw the pregnant, what I assume is, our main character. I never saw her being taken.
No.
Of anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's not delve too deep into Mike Flanagan's mind here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Callie's a bit of a mess. She's trying to talk to the police. She's shaking. The cop who was the baby daddy for Trisha. I've got that he definitely needs to be taken off this case here and now.
How's he still working?
Yeah. How
small a police department is this?
They tell Callie she needs to file a missing persons report, and as a person of interest cannot leave town. She's gathering newspaper prints of missing person reports, writes Mallory on the envelopes, which that's the cop's name, his real name, I think. Isn't it?
Yeah. Chickless. Mallory Chickless must be.
Yeah,
Junior.
Must be. So it looks like she is planning to go back to the tunnel. Once it's dark, she marches down, and then as she gets to the entrance, she walks in slowly, tentatively, and then I just found this all very harrowing. She's like shouting or screaming the word trade, and just like to nobody, to nothing, and just out of desperation. And she shouts it a few times, but then we start hearing some sinister voices and noises.
Yeah.
And then what we see.
No.
What we see appear from the walls is a fetus.
Out of what's the word I was looking for there? Like, so it's blurry and but you can. It's enough you can see it, but it's not like thrown in your face. Well, it's not in your face. So it's like, did I really just see that? And you even said that to me. I had to rewind and like
I took it
look
back
to see if that's what it was.
Yeah,
it's so messed up.
Yeah. Callie runs for the tunnel entrance. She disappears, and is it just like a shadow there? I think.
Yeah.
The house door is still left open. The cops are going to find the envelope. We see missing person posters going up, and then we're at the stage where the cops are just kind of speculating about what they think has happened here. Obviously, Chickless has a bit of a vested interest in the whole situation, which makes this all seem incredibly dark. But they're talking about how Walter's son had classic serial killer traits. He was taking animals and things like that. They are speculating, I think, more in hope from Chickless that Trisha could just disappear and be fine. Live off the land, whatever, Could she? And Mallory's putting up the missing person posters. It looks like you can see Callie in the tunnel entrance. And then we see a figure with a hand, sort of tentacled hand. And that's it.
Yeah.
So
speechless. It's when you're talking through some of that things, when you said there about the way that it's been formed, this picture of this son who's been sort of bought, I assume done similar to what Callie's done and looked into missing people. He's essentially worked out what's going on, so he's bought into this whole thing of there being an entity within, living within the tunnel that takes people, and it'll trade with you if it gives you if you give it something like similar to what happened with she gave it food and it got trinkets back. So he's been giving it animals, but then from the other perspective, the police have used this to put together this picture of a potential serial killer, and that's really that's so clever.
Yeah. I thought it was really well done. I really like the fact that when you get the two instances of us seeing Daniel be taken by an entity and also hearing that Trisha was taken by an entity, the only person that actually saw that was Callie, who is an unreliable narrator because we've already seen drug use and heard all about past addiction problems, which can leave this as open as you want it to be when you get to the end of it, or it can provide you with that point of the entity in the tunnel if that's the way you want to see it. I really like that. I think it's very cleverly done.
Too right. It's I've seen people saying that they feel like it would be really good for Mike Flanagan, being who he is now, to be allowed to remake this film with a budget and all that. Which, how do you feel about that?
I don't know, because I really like it as is. I think as long as it was him doing it, I would probably trust that he would keep all the important stuff in there. And, you know, the fear I would have is if this was bought by a studio who decided we're going to release this. You would see the entity, you would see every bit of the entity. You wouldn't just have that ability to form your own picture from the glimpses that you get, which is what's so good about this.
Yeah, 100%. 100% agree. Maybe him overseeing a TV, like an 8-episode TV version of it or something like that would be a good way to do it.
Interesting. Yeah. So what were your thoughts? We've already discussed a few of them, but yeah.
It's obviously like really cleverly put together, and I think maybe the whole budget thing has helped them to not have to go into a situation where they're trying to computer generate something, but maybe no, I don't know that. So I think, and we speak about this all the time, what you don't see is more effective than sometimes what you do see, and this film does that perfectly. There's the things like the scenarios where they talk about what could be happening, what could have happened to her husband, and they work that into the film. I think that leaves you with your own questions and leaves certain things ambiguous. Like, these are all just things that I feel like make a really good film, and you take away. I think I've taken away some bits and pieces for the film, and things that you sit and think about and go, wow, that's pretty class. Something that I was going to ask you, and it's one of the questions that I had coming away from it, and I think I have my own answer, but for about the first half of the film, before Daniel reappears, he's basically haunting Trisha. Do you think that is in her head, or do you think that is him?
I think, given where he pops up at least once, I think that's in her head. Because I think there's one scene where she's speaking to, I don't know if it's a solicitor or somebody like that, and Daniel appears behind
That's
her.
A good point, right?
Now, the ones where he comes into the bedroom, I think I would be, if it was just those, I think I'd be far more open to that was him. But I think because that one existed, I have to think it was in her head.
Nice. I forgot about that. For me, it's like a grief thing, you know, she's feeling bad about what she's doing. She's making significant decisions about assuming he's dead, moving forward with her life with someone else. So for me, those are grief and guilt, which makes it all the more bigger when he does appear. And like you said, the detective can see him as well.
Yeah.
What about the Billy Goat's Gruff thing? You never mentioned it when you were going through, but
oh yes,
So in the Billy Goat's Gruff, generally the story is about needing to sort of pay a toll to get over the bridge, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Callie brings the Billy Goat's Gruff book with her for the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, Daniel, when he's sort of muttering and all that sort of stuff, he points to the book and he said something like, they say it wrong, or they did it wrong, or
yes,
or something like that. So obviously, like, it feels like that's all meant to tie in.
Yes,
as well.
Yeah.
But that's there's like loads of strands to this just this like cheaply made hour and a half, hour and 20 movie.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a film I would watch again, because I feel like you maybe see something that you didn't see or notice or consider important enough to think about the first time round.
Yep. Yeah, same. There's I've not watched all. I maybe watched first 10 minutes or something. There's like it's almost like in retrospect, the cast all sitting about talking about it and how they made it and circumstances and all that sort of stuff. It's really quite interesting. Mm-hmm. It's quite fun to watch. It's maybe like half an hour or something like that. It's on YouTube.
Okay. I had a few things I picked up on when I was looking into this. So I think talked about the cheap budget. It was funded by crowdfunding largely, and shot mostly in Mike Flanagan's own apartment.
Wow.
The script was written in just 2 sittings.
What? That's insane.
And the tunnel aspect was inspired by a tunnel that was across the road from his apartment when he was writing this, that he just thought was a wee bit creepy. We mentioned this earlier, the actress playing Trisha, Courtney Bell, was Mike Flanagan's partner at the time and was pregnant with Mike Flanagan's baby. They used practical items such as twigs to represent the hands of the entity.
Was it? Wow.
Mm-hmm. And apparently other aspects of this film came from Mike Flanagan's, what I think he has himself described as his obsession with Scandinavian folklore.
Oh yes, like Wendigo type stuff.
Yeah, I think the ones he mentioned specifically were creatures that spirit people away.
Brilliant.
I did look at critical response. There was a lot of praise for the director, the atmosphere around the film, and the way it was created, although some did point to the very small budget limiting maybe what would have been the ambition of Flanagan when making the film.
Wow. I don't think... I was saying about Baby Chickless and his acting, but generally...
Yeah.
I don't think you can... Honestly, it's like genius writing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we've sat down and talked about it now, and it gives you a better perspective on it, I think.
Yeah.
What year did this come out? 2011?
2011, yeah.
Yeah, the stuff that was getting pumped out then would have been absolute shite, I bet, as well.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose the good thing is, and we'll probably notice this as we go on the sort of trajectory of his career, is enough people will have been impressed by this to, give him a bit more budget for his next one, and then probably a bit more again for the next one, and then he'll have basically been picking projects after a few films. So yeah.
I'm sure we'll get into it. It seems it's crazy that he's went from funding his own film to just being able to what seems like cherry pick his favourite Stephen King stories and go, I'm going to make that now.
Yeah. Are we going to apply, as we did with season 1, are we going to apply scores to these films as we go?
Sure. Aye, absolutely, aye.
What was our scoring system previously?
0 to 6 smiles.
0 to 6. Okay. I think I'll...
Are you making the noise now?
Yeah, I was about to say a number, and then I thought, should it be a tiny bit higher? I think I'll go with... I really enjoyed this. I think I'll go a 4.5.
Nice. I've went 4 smiles. It's funny when you get to thinking, to speaking about it, and then you think, well, actually, maybe could have went to 5. I'll stick at 4. 4.5 is a good score as well, I think. Definitely a huge recommendation, I would say, if people haven't seen it, even though we've just spoke through the whole thing and spoiled everything that happens in it.
Yeah, we should really say at the start, watch the film, then come back to us.
Oh, maybe we should. Yeah, maybe we should start doing our scoring at the start. Good point, Adam.
Yeah, but then if we're saying it's terrible at the start, what motivation? It's fun to hear people, pull apart terrible films. That's what the motivation is, to stick around and listen.
People like negativity.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people on social media, so. I think as someone who had seen more recent Mike Flanagan works, I would say I'm very happy that we have decided to go on this journey, because I did wonder, is it going to kick off really well, or are we going to have a bit of a slow start in terms of enjoyment of the films? But so far, I would say I'm now enthusiastic for everything else we're going to watch.
Nice. Yeah, me too. I think it's such a high quality written film.
Mm-hmm.
You would never ever hear somebody say, like, what's, top 5 greatest debuts as a director or whatever. You would never hear this in the list. But yeah, I can't think off the top of my head of just a more well written debut film off the bat. Like, especially in what did you say? It was written in 2 days.
Yeah, two sittings is
two
what
sittings.
He described it as. So, yeah, mad.
Crazy.
So I believe our next Mike Flanagan film is, well, it's certainly another one that I haven't seen. It is Oculus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume you've not seen that either.
No.
Okay.
No. Do you want me to find the synopsis?
Yeah. I know absolutely nothing about this.
Okay, let's find it. Oculus. Helpful if I could spell. Oculus. Oh, it's got Karen Gillian in it. A recently released inmate from a mental asylum learns from his sister that the murder he was convicted of committing was actually orchestrated by a supernatural entity, the Lasser Glass Mirror.
Oh, okay.
And the movie poster has got this sort of old but really creepy looking mirror with a couple of kids standing in front of it looking absolutely terrified.
Okay. I'm going to make an assumption that Mike Flanagan had like grandparents with a creepy mirror in their house or something like that. Because it does just seem like he'll see something and he'll think, yes.
Bridge over there. Yep. Yeah. Brilliant.
Okay.
So, yeah, I will get into that. I didn't realise that you hadn't seen that one either, so that would be...
No, I think when you sent me the list, I think it was certainly the first 2 on it that I hadn't seen, and then I was actually... Yeah, I think Hush is our third one, which I have seen. Then we get to Another Before I Wake, which I've not seen. So there's plenty in here that I'll be seeing for the first time.
Okay, I see that Katie Siegel is part of the cast of this one. So maybe he's ditched the last main actress and found himself the next one.
Yeah. Well, shame for her, but it's fine.
Her loss is his gain.
Well. So, have you been watching anything else interesting since we last spoke?
Yes, let me bring up my list. So, watched Mobland Season 1, Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren. Have you seen that?
I have not. Oh, I know about it, but I've never actually seen it.
It's quite good. Bonus is that I had Paddy Considine in it. He's always good in everything.
Yep.
So what's that? Watched X-Men: Days of Future Past. I watched Blade. I watched a film called In the Earth that I sent you something about, and it had, who did it have in it again? One of the guys, Reece Shearsmith, I had in it from League of Gentlemen and Inside Number 9. And that was really good as well. So yeah, that's my list.
Okay. Just a couple of things for me. So there was one that I'd seen before and I rewatched called Open 24 Hours. Don't know if you've seen that.
No.
So it's a young woman who gets a job at a petrol station, and her first shift is the night shift, and things don't go perfectly for her.
This rings a bell. Okay.
I think it's been on Amazon for a while.
Okay.
And I also rewatched for the first time in quite a while The Wicker Man.
The original?
Yeah.
What a pull.
When we were doing our last journey and films that started subgenres, I thought to myself after we'd finished, but we didn't do folk horror. And then I thought, that's probably cost me an opportunity to watch The Wicker Man. So I just decided to do it.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it?
I did. I mean, it's weird to have it because it's almost, in terms of recency, in the wrong order, because I'd watched Midsummer a few weeks ago, and then I've watched Wicker Man, obviously heavily influenced by Wicker Man. But it's so unsettling, so much of it. Like the lack of any remorse or feeling about the things that are going on. It's quite disturbing.
There's little bits and pieces in Widow's Bay of that, isn't there?
Yeah.
I love it. A great film. I think the day after I went to see Midsummer at Pictures, I watched The Wicker Man. I was like, I need to watch The Wicker Man now.
Yeah. Very, very good film and harrowing. Very harrowing.
Definitely. He's shouting at the end.
Yeah. Oh.
Aye.
Oh.
I'd be. I love a bit of folk horror. I'd be well up for doing a longer folk horror look at some point. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So, I think that's all of mine. This film kept popping up on Netflix, basically saying you should watch this. A film called Talk to Me. So I don't know. Have you ever seen that one?
No, I'd like to. I've seen the directors. I think it's like brothers that did like a YouTube show or something like that. They did it, and I saw their next film, Bring Her Back. I think I remember telling you about it. It's so messed up. So I'd imagine Talk to Me is really good.
Yeah. So I think by the time we next speak, that may be on my list of things I have watched since.
Oh yes, double it up with Bring Her Back, please.
Yeah, because I've never seen that either. I will make note of that. Yeah.
Have you seen like a trailer for Talk to Me or anything like that?
No, I think so. When I was looking at it on Netflix, it started playing a trailer, and I thought to myself, I'm not sure I want to see a trailer, so I just stopped it and thought I'll just go in totally cold.
Nice, like it.
Yeah.
Oh, something else I was watching actually. Just reminded. Remember I was saying I watched Backrooms?
Yes.
So I then found there's like an hour and a half thing that the director's like 20 or something.
That makes me sick.
So he did like an hour and a half thing on YouTube where it's essentially like it's like created the lore of Backrooms. I know that it's like a much wider thing than what this guy's done, but he's sort of taken that and run and done his own thing.
Okay.
And it's unbelievable. Like I say, it's an hour and a half long. And what he's able to do, just, I assume, using a video camera, because it's like found footage type stuff. It's really creepy and messed up and like really good.
So if I were to watch the film, I should also watch this YouTube thing.
Oh, you know what I'm like? I go away down rabbit holes.
You do.
So it's maybe not required, but If you watch the Backrooms and you're interested to see more, then
okay.
I could send you a link to that. I imagine that they'll make more of their films anyway.
Okay.
I would like Backrooms was a bit like this YouTube thing with a budget and with the ability to tell a much wider story.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Really good though. Really good.
Yeah. Excellent. So, anything further to add on Absentia?
No, but what I would say is, if anyone out there has got like a loved one, especially a partner who has been missing for a significant length of time, don't schedule the date that you're going to go on, like for like the day after you finally get that death certificate, because there's a good chance they'll come wandering over the road. Oh, do you know what? And that has made me think of something. Oh no, terrible connection between two different things. But have you ever seen Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood?
I have, yeah.
Right, so I watched that as well recently.
It's a long time since I've seen it.
Oh man, I feel like I was watching my like adolescence. Not that that's what I grew up like, but I more mean like the quotes.
Yeah.
But you know the guy that's like, I got these cheeseburgers, man.
Yeah.
Now I can see Daniel shuffling across the road like that guy. They're essentially dressed the same.
Wow. Oh, wow. I'm going to need to rewatch for probably the first time in 25 years. Something like that.
Oh, I was proper belly laughing after, like, so silly.
Yeah.
Funny.
I assume somewhere I still have the DVD of that. I'm bound to.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You can see the cover with he's got like a water pistol type thing and all that. Eh?
Yep. Oh, those were the days.
Class. Just try not to, maybe try and just keep those things even a week apart or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Absolutely.
Yourself?
Yeah. I just really enjoyed it. I think from the first moment where you realise, oh, this is cheap, to getting into the film, to getting to the end of it, just really enjoyable. Really enjoyable.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I remember texting you about 45 minutes in and sort of being like, I'm not really sure what I expected I'd be watching, but I don't feel like this is it. And then it's like 46 minutes, it just goes blah.
Yeah.
And everything kicks off.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. It was a good pick, and it was I think a good journey to start. So I'm looking forward to continuing through into Oculus.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. Excellent. Right. Well, we'll be able to catch us again discussing Oculus in a couple of weeks' time. But for now, take it easy, Ross.
Oh, no. You know, say the thing. Say the thing, Bart.
What is it I'm supposed to say?
Keep on smiling in the dark.
It's because I never usually do the sign-off. So, yeah, keep on smiling in the dark.
Beautiful.